Hi everybody, and welcome back to me going through my favorites list on fanfiction.net. Once again, I'm just going through all the stories that are on my favorites list for my fanfiction.net account, sorted by publication date, starting with the oldest and coming back up, and seeing whether they deserve a spot on my list still. And let's start off with hackEVA Catharsis by AlfheimWanderer. So this is a Neon Genesis Evangelion fic crossover with .hack's sign, where, this story has Maya Ibuki, normally just an inconspicuous bridge bunny, as a supermaster hacker that was actually very influential in the .hack storyline as the Queen Helba, and a bunch of super AIs from .hack sign can just will themselves to get new bodies and become people in the real world and stuff like that. And that is the kind of ridiculousness that is just there throughout this story. It's very much a blend of the two, and all of the issues from the .hack universe are like big events in Neon Genesis Evangelion, and it actually kind of almost pushes a bit of the Angel stuff to the side to deal with the .hack stuff as more important. And the .hack stuff actually does in the end subsume the EVA's antagonists and plots. The main story is it follows like a lot of the main cast meeting up in the world before they meet up in real life. The world is the game from .hack, so like they all just serendipitously meet up there, and then they meet in real world, and the teacher, like one of the AIs, becomes their new homeroom teacher and tells them to play the world and like be that as classwork assignments. What's interesting is the character dynamics are a little swapped with Maya and Hikari, the class representative, being like huge characters, and Ritsuko and Misato basically being non-entities. Like they exist and they fill their EVA purposes, but for the main story they're basically not relevant after the first couple chapters, and they come up occasionally, but no, it's not important. What's important is Shinji, Hikari, and their stuff that they do in the world with Maya, and it's okay. The story itself is good. The writing is pretty good, and Shinji grows a spine pretty damn early on in the story, which is always a plus. Seeing Shinji take some stuff is great. The melodrama and all that stuff is okay, but it just did not grab me. I just was constantly alt-tabbing to other stories, and I just was not paying attention to this. Dog Sign was actually one of the first anime I ever watched, and there is a lot of lore and interesting bits that get pulled from the .hack universe, but it's been so long since I've watched it, and also I just was never... I never dove that into it, so a lot of it just passed right over my head. I'm sure people who are into it would like it a lot, but I just didn't get into it as much. I did finish this story though, because I got far enough in that I was like, okay, let me finish it, and it is satisfying in the end. It's just not fully to my taste. So it's a good story. I would recommend it highly if you like .hack sign at all. But at the same time, it just didn't grab my attention completely, so it's going to fall off my list. Alright, next is The Real Soundin by MogtheGnome. MogtheGnome is another writer who I believe I have quite a few of his stories on his list, and a lot of them it's a lot of like joking stories. And this one is basically Naruto at a young age finds music and decides, fuck it, I'm just gonna be a great musician, and it just jumps from 20 different scenes throughout all of Naruto where instead of fighting or doing the normal thing, he does a dance battle or a song fight, like something like that, and it's just great. Like, you know, the music choices, the song choices and stuff like that are always humorous, and especially just seeing, you know, everyone else's reactions to the fact that, why are you not trying to kill me? Why are you singing? What is this whole fucking, what is this? It's great. I love this a lot, and this one's definitely staying on my list. Next is Fragments by dogbertcarroll. dogbertcarroll, another, as I've said before, I like his stuff a lot. And this is basically just his odd ideas bin, you know, the story fragments bin. Well, that's what Fragments is. Whatever. It's his idea dump. He does things a little differently, whereas he caps all of these stories off at 75 chapters and just keeps making new bins for some reason. I'm pretty sure all of them are on my favorites list, and that's because I love them. I love a lot of these. Granted, the majority of this is Buffy stories. There are others on here, but mainly it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And a lot of them keep getting revisited. Not only do they get revisited and come back like way later, or eventually like you'll get multi-chapters of each one, most of his stories, actually, like, I think he has like over 100 stories listed. A lot of them started out in here and they just broke out. They just got so many extra chapters that he just posted them as their own stories in their own right, and continued many of them. And yeah, I enjoy all of them that are here. I love this guy's humor. I love the situations and the fact that there's so many, you know, it's open to all the stuff, so almost everything is here. I love it a lot. So yeah, this stays on my list. Next is Always Smiling by Lady Salazar. And yeah, this is a take on an unhinged Harry Potter. You know, he's basically, as a kid, he just like says, okay, they don't like running and stuff, so I'll just smile and that'll make everybody think hurt less, or that does so. He seems like to be inspired by one of the Rurouni Kenshin characters, like the samurai that always smiled, even though, you know, just always had the smirk on his face. And yeah, he does learn like samurai stuff in that. And it goes through the first 4 years of the Hogwarts, ending with the battle at the Triwizard Tournament. It's okay, you know, it's got the writings there, but there's nothing truly spectacular. And yeah, it felt forced when Harry keeps ending up in the same situations, even though he has like not really any reason to be. Because he doesn't understand emotions, so it's like the things that drives him having like, hell, he's not even friends with Ron when the basilisk stuff happened, so why he ends up down there, I don't know. And even the author in the postscript is like, how did Ron become his friend again? Because that happens in the fourth year, and it's like, how did that even happen? I don't know. And yeah, that kind of sums up the problem. If you don't know why something happened and it doesn't make sense anyway, yeah, you might want it to have reworked it a bit. So yeah, it's an okay story, but it falls off my list. Now is Meteoric Harry Potter and the Evil Summer Vacation by Meteoric Shipyards. And this is basically just a fun little piece where Harry ends up going like to a summer camp for not dark lords, but like any evil person, like mainly like Bond villains and stuff like that, like Dr. Evil's there and stuff like that. The cameos are super fun, and super villains, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, super villains. And it's there he learns stuff that he uses to solve all his problems, you know, like the cameos are all super fun. The seminars that they have and the stuff he sees, super informative. Harry interacting and explaining his vacation to Hermione and Luna at the end is really fun, and I really enjoyed it. Super fun, stays on my list. And the last one for this video, which we'll clean up with, of June 2007, is Absinthe Makes the Heart Grow Fonder by Rorschach's Blot. And yeah, like I've said before, I'll say it again, I love this guy's humor. It's super fun. Again, this one is another piece where Harry finds something to solve all his problems, and it's absinthe. And he just gets drunk and goes batshit crazy, and just lots of stupid hijinks occur. And yeah, I love it. I love this a lot. Stays on my list. So there we have it. 6 more stories. And yeah, sorry I was a little late with this one. I was at DreamHack Dallas the previous week, and I ended up getting sick afterwards, so I didn't want to make the video while I was sick. But yeah, I'm still doing this, and I'm going, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye.